Hello and welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Salami. In today's video we are talking about Decky, the must-have app for your Steam Deck if you're new to Steam OS and your Steam Deck, or if you've had your Steam Deck for a while and you've heard of it but you haven't used it. I am here to sell you on it, and so that is my job today. So in this video you will have a guide how to install Decky, and then I'm going to go through some of my favorite applications within Decky. But before we start, I'll just give you a quick overview of what it is. So basically, Decky is an add-on to your Steam OS, specifically when you're in gaming mode, and it allows you to basically side load additional applications and programs within gaming mode of Steam OS on your Steam Deck. So you'll understand more once we jump into the video. So without further ado, we're going to do that in just a moment. But first, I just want to let you know that in the comments below, there is a link and a referral code, which will give you 25% off your own private server from Shockbite. So if you're looking for a private server for one of your favorite games like 7 Days to Die or Power World or Minecraft, check it out below. But without further delay, let's begin the installation of Decky. So first thing is you're going to go head over to desktop mode, which you can do by pushing the Steam button, going down to power, and then go to desktop. From there, you're going to go onto the internet. You do have Firefox installed base, or you can go and download your own from the Discover store. I used Chrome. And then you're just going to Google Decky, as you can see there. And then you're going to click the download button. Done. That's that easy. And you're going to go to your downloads folder where you're going to see it. Now what you're going to do is you're going to cut this and put it onto your desktop. So you can pull left trigger and then go down to cut and then paste it. Then you're just going to double click on it, pulling the trigger, and go execute. It's going to ask you if it wants to make a temporary password. Just say yes. That's just because of how Linux works, but it's pretty straightforward. And then you just click on the first one. For me, it's an update because I already have Decky installed, but for you, it'll say install Decky. It may take slightly longer, but you're getting the same overview here as what I got. And once that's installed, we're on to the next phase. Once that's downloaded or installed, you can close this, which it says OK. And then all you're going to do is return to gaming mode. And once we're back into gaming mode, we're good to go. You can also delete this now, unless you want to keep it for doing updates, but you can just re-download it when you want. So yeah, delete it and then head back to gaming mode, and I'll see you there. Once you make it back over to game mode, you can push your 3-dot button on the right hand side of your Steam Deck, which brings up your quick menu, basically your quick menu button. And when you do that, you're going to see down the bottom there is a new icon, which is the little plug. And when you go to it, that's when you're going to find this. Now, I've already installed all of these applications. You'll need to use that little shop icon there, and then you can go through and download what applications you want. I'm just going to go through the ones I have here that I really like and I recommend. Of course, there's a ton more on there, but these are all the ones that are my go-tos when I use Decky. So let's have a look here. So first off, I have Auto Flat Packs. This application basically is a way to update your drivers and your Linux update from within game mode without having to go to desktop. So I really recommend it. The next one I have there is Decky Recorder. You probably don't need that one, that's more for me, but it just allows you to record your screen. Next up, we have Wine Cellar. Now, Wine Cellar is a really great one, and I highly recommend Wine Cellar. So what that does is if you're looking to use Proton GE and things like that, which I may redirect you from another video to this one if you need a certain Proton layer, that is now, I think, the easiest way to get what you need, especially if you need the new GE, because originally you had to do it through desktop mode and there was just a few more steps. Now you can just use Wine Cellar, go in there and download the Proton GE that you're after. So that's a huge recommendation, is to get Wine Cellar. and get Proton GE. And if your games aren't working, just jump onto that Proton and see how you go. And so highly recommend. The next on our list here is Steam Grid DB. Now that allows you to add artwork to your games that are non-Steam. Things for me would be like the Need for Speed games, which I've done videos on, and others. So then, and to access that, you just push the cog on a game, and then it might not show up the first time you close it, open the cog again, and usually down the bottom of the list, it will say add game artwork. And you can even change official artwork to ones that you prefer. So SteamGrid DB is great if you've got a ton of games that you've installed manually and you want to add just a little bit of art to make them feel more unique, basically, and part of the Steam OS and not a side program. Magic Pods, now this is very, very only for people that use iPods, which is me. I use iPod Pro 2s, and this app allows you to check battery levels and also turn off and on adaptive sound and noise cancelling. Basically, it's a control center for iPod Pros. Next up, we have Playtime. Basically, this just adds a time counter for non-Steam games. So things like if you've installed Need for Speed Underground 2, or you're using Silent Hill 2 that I've made a guide on, all those things allow you to track that playtime just like normal Steam games in your library, and adds it to those third-party ones that you've manually added. Now, the big one here that I want to talk about is non-Steam launches. This one's huge that it's added now to Decky, and you can download it. Basically, this allows you to add GOG, Epic Game Store, and a ton of others. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a small installation of a Epic game just to show you how easy it is to use the Epic launcher now within Steam OS specifically. So let's jump into it and I'll show you how it goes. So I'm going to jump into here, and I'm going to go down. I'm just having a quick look here to show you everything. So there's game scanning, which is huge, which basically if you add games from GOG or Epic, it will add a proper icon into your non-Steam library, meaning you don't have to load into the launcher every time. I'm doing Epic Games and GOG Galaxy here. Now, I recommend just doing one at a time. I found trying to do both of these, it didn't work. But if I just did Epic, it logged it in perfectly fine. So my recommendation is just to do one at a time, or maybe GOG's just not working, because it installed Epic no problem, but GOG got kind of stuck on a loop. So just keep that in mind. It's not everything is perfect, and I just want to point that out, that it may break on you. But I'm going to just jump ahead after it installs Epic, and then jump into Epic and show you how it all goes. Once it finishes installing, I go over to my non-Steam in library, and as you can see, Epic Store has been installed, and it's even given an image and picture. I didn't even have to do it myself, so that makes it really easy. If you load this up, it's going to be in controller settings, so you will need to go into your controller options and set it to be able to use the trackpad and stuff as a mouse. Or if you don't want to do that, you can just hold the Steam button and use the right trackpad and triggers as normal. But if you're having shortcuts to the games that you're loading into, you shouldn't need to have this on controller mode. So this will just do an update, and then you have to log in. So I'm not going to bore you with that. It all worked out of the box. I didn't need to use a Proton layer or anything like that. So we'll jump ahead to logging in. So we jump in, and it loads up pretty well, and I'll log in. I'll just jump ahead. You don't need to see this information. And then once we've logged in, we'll have a look around the store, download a game, and make sure it all works as intended. So the store loads up. It's pretty good. If you're like me, you would have had a ton of free games in your Epic library. So I forget how many I have. So I just downloaded that. It's asked to install that thing. It worked okay. I found this like little like that banner wouldn't go away. Eventually I got it to disappear, but it just took me a few goes. As you can see here, I can go to my library and have a massive look around. So I'm really happy with that. And then I'm going to go ahead here. I think I click it like a few more times. There we go. We got it. And then, yeah, I'm just going to have a look through my games and download something and load it up. So this is the biggest thing about now using Proton GE is it's so easy to get to these secondary stores, as well as put things like YouTube and Netflix and Amazon on your Steam Deck homepage. So without further ado, I'm going to jump ahead and download. I think I do Cat Quest 2, and I only played it for like 3 minutes, but I'm wondering if I should spend a little bit more time with it. So hold on a minute, let's jump ahead. Here we are, we download Cat Quest. It's a nice little game. It takes not very long to download, which is very good. And then we'll jump back to the desktop, add it as a non-Steam game automatically, which is, well, I did a manual load, but I think you can turn it on so it's automatic. But even if you have to just click the button to do it auto load, like that's not too bad at all. So I just quit out of here. We don't need to be in here now. We've downloaded it, I can quit out, and then I go back to my options. I see it wasn't here. I'm like, oh, it should be in here. So then I went down to back to it, and then I just scrolled down and then turned that on, and then I closed it. But I think I was a little bit too quick. I think you need to wait once you activate it. So I went back in. I might as well show you this, because if you have the same issue, then you'll know what's going on. And then I just clicked manual scan, and it starts counting down, and I notice it pop up in the background there, and so that's when I knew it had worked. So you might want to scan them in each time you install a new game, because it might take a while if you do. I don't know if it would make a difference if you, yeah, see it popped up because I clicked it twice. So that's just worth keeping in mind. And then I just removed the extra one like a knobby. And then, yeah, you can just load it straight up, and it plays. I'm just going to fast forward this so we don't have to go through the whole load screen. And Bob's your uncle. We are now loading into a non-Steam game, and all we had to do was download Decky, add in the non-Steam launchers through Decky, and then install Epic through that, log in, and we're away laughing. And I think if games aren't loading for you this way, you could always then just go into the properties and try a Proton layer, and I think that will work. I'm not 100%. This game just worked out the box, which was quite nice. I had locked to the frame rate to 30 for some bizarre reason, so we just turned that off, and it jumped straight up to 90 like a champ. So without further ado, thank you very much for watching. If you have any other tips for Decky that you think are useful in other programs, let us know in the comments below. There are other ones there that are kind of worthwhile, sort of like Moonlight and stuff, which lets you stream from your PC. But the setup process for that seemed quite high, so I decided not to jump into that. And if you have any other thoughts about Decky, or if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below, and I'll get back to you with whatever answer I can give. But once again, thank you guys for jumping in, and have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.